Well, Ball State University says it is taking strides and making students as attractive as possible to potential employers. Ball State says graduation rates have increased dramatically over the past decade. University also seeing a big increase in recruiting and retaining Indiana students. Add to that, Ball State putting an emphasis on lifetime learning and expanding its presence in Indianapolis. Ball State President Geoffrey Mearns joins us now with details. And as always, President Mearns, welcome to the program.
It's good to be with you, Gary.
Before we get to some of those issues, as I understand it, you had a couple of special guests on campus this week, some rather high-profile celebrities.
We did. David Letterman, one of our most famous graduates, came to campus with Peyton Manning to film an episode of Peyton's show called Peyton's Places. And as you may know, he travels around the country, different locations, and we were delighted that Dave brought Peyton to campus. It was a great opportunity for our football players and our students. It was a fun day, and we look forward to the program because it helped promote the university and our campus and the city of Muncie. Great
opportunity for the university. I look forward to watching that. I know it'll be a great show. Mentioned some of the key points coming in, President Mearns, but so much attention on Indiana's great academic institutions of higher education, their connection to community, connection to the state. As you look at some of the things going on that you're really spearheading there at Ball State to make more of a connection, one with the graduation rates. I looked at the numbers there, and over the past 10 to 14 years, I guess, those graduation rates, four-year numbers, have increased in a big way.
Yeah, so we're grateful to our faculty and staff who are committed to the personal success of all of our students. And we've really tried to engage more students from all across the state of Indiana to come to our campus. You know, every year the freshman class is usually about 80 to 85% Hoosiers. This year, notwithstanding the pandemic, nearly 90% of the incoming freshman class were Indiana residents. And as you know, Gary, we engage our students with the community while they're here. We engage them with employers across the state. And as a result, many of our students, after they graduate, stay in Indiana. We think, we estimate that we have more than 120,000 Ball State graduates who are living and working here in Indiana. We're proud of that commitment. We see ourselves as Indiana's public research university.
And you're really doubling down on that, we're trying to get more Indiana students at Ball State. How are you going to do that? What are some of the ways or initiatives you're really going to focus on getting more Indiana students on the Muncie campus?
So we've spread our connections to guidance counselors and engaging guidance counselors in sharing the good things that are happening on our campus, what we think is the distinctive educational experience here at Ball State. We also have wonderful facilities. We're fortunate that the state of Indiana has continued to invest in our campus. We have 2 new academic buildings under construction, 2 new residence halls. But we think it's the distinctive relationship that our faculty and staff have with our students, that personal educational connection. And through immersive learning experiences, enables our students while they're here, while they're getting their education, to see how they can apply what they're learning in the classroom or in a laboratory to real-world problems, real-world settings. And so we think that's very attractive to our students and makes them really capable of serving employers and serving our communities after they graduate.
And that focus on community, too. I think that not long after you entered the president's office, we talked about the need for Ball State to connect with East Central Indiana as well as the rest of the state. Talk about efforts, and I know one that is just in the very formative stages now, but this talent collaborative that you're being talked about there in a 10-county area. Talent's such a big issue for the state of Indiana.
That's right. So first of all, it begins at home, and we're engaged in revitalizing here the city of Muncie. Our future at the university is linked to the future of our city, but we see that what we're doing right here in Muncie and in Delaware County, we can expand that through the East Central region. So we're in the early stages of reaching out to educational partners, to businesses, to economic development organizations. We want to create a cradle-to-career talent collaborative throughout East Central Indiana. We can't do it alone, but we do believe that we can help convene that kind of a collaborative, and we're looking forward to engaging our partners.
Looking ahead, President Mearns, at the post-pandemic Ball State, if you will, I think education, I think all areas of the economy are certainly changing. As you look at that post-pandemic model for education, any differences you see going forward, or what's your vision for the university once things get back to some sense of normalcy?
Well, so you mentioned earlier about our commitment to lifelong learning, and we see as the pandemic has accelerated some of the changes that we have seen happening in the workplace. The notion that that workers need to and employers need to upskill and reskill their workers, and we want to be a part of that process. So as part of one of our integral goals in our new strategic plan is to do more in terms of lifelong learning. And that means not just online learning, it means on-demand learning. We're expanding educational opportunities and locations in the Indianapolis area. They might be not degrees, but they might be other kind of alternative credentials, stackable credentials. We're going to take a more innovative and flexible approach, breaking away from that notion that everything has to lead to a formal degree and everything has to be done on campus in a 14 to 16-week semester. Much more flexible, much more adaptive, much more accessible to learners of all ages and all interests.
Very interesting perspective from Ball State University President Geoffrey Mearns. President Mearns, it's always great to see you. Thanks for joining us. Look forward to visiting you on campus, hopefully sooner rather than later.
We'd love to have you here, Gary. Thank you very much for your time.
All right.